Hey, I'm Tori. Welcome to Omega Ready and part 3 of our series on raising your own chickens from these little fluffy puffs to an egg-laying pullet in about 6 months. If you haven't seen the previous videos of this series, check out the links below to get up to speed. Let's get to it. So you've ordered your chicks and got all the brooder equipment ready to go for their arrival. Now, what do you expect on chick arrival day? So if you're picking your chicks up in person from a store, then things are pretty straightforward for you. You'll be bringing them home in a simple cardboard box and transferring them to your fully functional brooder. They are most likely a few days old already and will likely transition easily from the store's brooder to your brooder. If you have ordered your chicks through a hatchery via mail order, then there's a few more steps involved in the process, so let's review what you can expect. When you place your order at the hatchery, they should have asked you for a contact phone number. This is done so that the post office can call to notify you that your chicks have arrived. I get a call at 6 a.m. from the post office to notify me that I have chicks ready for pickup, so I'll switch on my brooder heater and head out to get them. So make no mistake on this, they are not delivered to your house, so you will need to know what post office they will be delivered to in your area. They come to you in a well-ventilated box like this one here. They are weary from the journey, so it's wise to have everything ready to go and be quick about things. Once I've got them home, I verify that my brooder heat lamp is up to temperature. I grab a water dispenser and add 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar to 1 quart of lukewarm water and stir to make sure that the sugar is fully dissolved within the water. This sugar water is going to help give the chicks a much needed drink as well as give them some energy since their yolk reserves are mostly used up on their journey from the hatchery to you. I also grab a couple of paper towels and wet them with lukewarm water. So, place the water dispenser, wetted paper towels, and the chick box close to the brooder, and now it's time to get them out of the box. So, the first thing you're going to do is open the lid and remove a chick from the box very carefully. They will be scared and are going to be huddled together in a tight group, so just reach in there and with a fairly firm grip, grab one. They're going to try and wiggle away, so be careful and don't squeeze them hard since they're fragile. Bring the chick to the water dispenser. Carefully dip their beak into the water for a brief second. I position their body slightly above the dispenser and use my free hand to carefully extend their neck by pushing on the back of their head. Once the beak goes underwater, I hold the chick upright and watch for signs that it drank the water. This may take a few times to get right because they might shake their head to get the water away. They don't know any better yet. All right, so after the first drink, you're going to be checking to ensure that their vent is free and clear. It's common for a chick to get some poop built up near their vent because of the feathers in the area. You need to ensure that the vent remains clear so that they don't get backed up. If they have any poop around their vent, you're going to carefully hold them as you take the wetted paper towel with your free hand and clean the poop away from the area. So now with those two things done, you're going to place them into the brooder. Carefully put them down near the heat lamp, and they're going to take things from there. They're going to be chirping, and they're definitely going to be skittish, but that's going to change as all their buddies get into the brooder with them and they acclimate to the environment. So you will go through those 3 steps for all the chicks that are in the box until they are all safely in the brooder. One last note on unboxing mail order chicks. It is not uncommon to have a chick that doesn't handle the journey as well as the others. They may appear weak and are depending on you to get them some water and heat quickly. Worse yet, they may have already died and are laying on the floor of the box. Be aware that this possibility exists, especially if kids are going to be involved in this process, so that you can explain to the kids that nature can be pretty rigid sometimes. All right, so what to expect as the chicks acclimate to their new brooder? At first, they're going to likely stay huddled up together and chirping. They should be somewhere near the heat lamp, and as they settle down, they will investigate their new home and likely find a warm spot to lay down and sleep. If they remain huddled together and chirp often and loudly, then it's likely they are too cold and you will need to adjust the heat lamp lower. Continue to observe them to determine if they are content or not. Observation is best done from a short distance away because anytime you reach in or get too close to the brooder, they get skittish and will start to chirp and fly around. So observation's best done from not directly next to the brooder, just back up a titch. So regarding sleep, they sometimes sleep on the same schedule, but it's common that there's a few walking around while the other ones are out cold. Chicks have zero manners and will walk all over each other. They will also peck at each other's feathers, beaks, feet, and pretty much everything else. This is normal behavior and what chickens do, and you're not going to teach them any manners, so just sit back and observe the chaos that is chicks in a brooder. As they grow over the coming weeks, you will be adjusting the heater height to accommodate their heat needs. The general temperature range they need can be found in the details below. Adjustments of the heat target range is usually done weekly. Again, listening to them is key to understanding if they are content or not. After observing them over a few days, you will begin to hear the difference between a content chick who chirps normally versus a startled chick versus a chick who is not content. So, food and water dispensers need to remain clean and full. The chicks will eat and drink on their own schedule. Initially, you should have the dispensers somewhat close to the heat lamp, but definitely not underneath it. Their curious nature will bring them to the dispensers to investigate, and they will discover the food and water all by themselves. So you're going to need to keep an eye on the bedding material. It will get soiled, and you're going to need to replace it when it gets bad enough. So you don't want the chicks laying around in a bunch of old poop. It's not obviously healthy, so stay on top of that. Same goes for if the bedding gets wet or anything, you need to replace it. Again, and I can't stress this enough, chicks lack any manner of civilized etiquette. They will step on each other, peck at anything that moves, kick up bedding into their food and water, and even poop in their food and water. Speaking of poop, they will even poop on each other. A brooder is a chaotic environment with zero manners, and you'll get used to it. Things to be preparing for in the coming days and weeks. Space. As the chicks grow, they're going to need more space. If your brooder is okay for the square foot requirements for 0 to 4 weeks, but not after 4 weeks, then start preparations on a bigger brooder now. Those 4 weeks will go quick. You're going to also need to keep an eye on food and water dispenser area. As they grow, they need more space to eat and to drink, so you'll be adjusting that as well. Building some perches. This will give the chicks more to do and allow them to start working on their roosting balance. It's also a form of cheap entertainment as you watch them start to figure things out. All of the space requirements are noted in the details below. Okay, so that's it. You are now aware of what you can expect and how to handle those chicks when they first arrive to their new home. Good luck and have some fun with it. Keep an eye out for our next video on more details of what to expect as they grow and how to handle problems and things to be preparing for. Thanks for watching and see you next time.